Hey, I'm Carlo Peruzza.
I'm Mike Manning.
You're watching Sand Shark Bytes. Welcome to Sand Shark Bytes. I'm Carlo Peruzza, and as always, I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike Manning. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm sure it's mostly myth, Carlo, at this point in my life. Really excited about the show today.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a fun one. We got plenty of great guests, and looking forward to breaking down the soccer game this past weekend and talking about everything coming up.
Yeah, for sure. The soccer team got their first win of the season, beating Montreat College 1-0. Big overtime goal by Hannah Salas, Mike.
It was a lot of fun to watch. I was sitting at home and streaming the game there. It was an exciting game. The team put up 27 shots, finally getting some offense going. Still a little work to do in the final third. The midfield dominated the game. Possession-wise, they were able to kind of do what they wanted with Montreat. As a center mids and Melissa Fickner, Lauren Kelly, Allison Schaefer. They kind of took over the game in the middle of the park, but trying to get to that final third and make something happen to get some good goal scoring opportunities was a little difficult for them, so I think that's going to be addressed in the coming weeks from Coach Jay, who we'll see a little bit later, as the team tries to find a way to get more quality opportunities on goal.
Absolutely. One thing that I've really noticed is that, to me, it looks like the team is starting to gel. They came in, we have a lot of new faces this season. It seems like the chemistry is getting there and they're starting to play as a unit. Have you noticed that too?
It's one of those things with all sports, really. Those first couple weeks, you come in, everybody's excited, so you got to get past all that, and then you kind of get into this groove. And that's where we find the team right now, really figuring out, okay, who's going to be on the field the most, what chemistry is going to work, and coaches starting to figure out who plays well with who, and timing on the substitutions has been key for him.
Absolutely.
Especially in that game against Montreat, like you said. Jory Benton coming in off the bench collects a throw-in, and that's where the goal came from. She gets that timely play. She gets it to Camilla Lazowski, gets it to Mel Fickner, and she finds Salas on the far side. So it's finding that timing on those substitutions now, as well as that chemistry, like you said, that's really starting to make a difference for the Sand Sharks.
Absolutely, of course. We're also on today's show going to be talking some golf. We have some pretty good guests. In Blanca, Porta, and Jack Faraci. Pretty much both teams number ones, I would say, going into the season at least.
For sure, and this week we also found out the women in the coaches preseason poll, number 6 in the country, and the men at the number 9 spot. So both teams find themselves in familiar territory there, and like you said, being led by Jack Faraci and Blanca Porta.
Of course, so we have a great show lined up for you. But first, we're going to take a little break, but we're going to show you some highlights of USCB's last game against Montreat College. Welcome back to Sand Shark Bytes. We're now joined by some very special guests. Jay Harris, as usual, and today Melissa Fickner. So guys, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So Jay, your team got their first win of the season against Montreat and won 1-0 in overtime. What were just your thoughts on the game?
It was a tough game for us. I think going away to any game is always going to be tough. They're a well-coached team. They have a new coach. She's implemented a formation and a tactic where they don't take too many risks. They put people behind the ball. So it was difficult for us, and losing some of our attacking prowess from last year. We're struggling a little bit to find our offensive threat, but we persisted and in the end, we managed to get the goal, which was great for us, and hopefully gives us some momentum moving forward.
So Hannah Salas got a pretty big goal, a big goal in overtime. Do you think that is going to spark the team a little bit and give them some extra motivation going forward?
It can't hurt. It can only build momentum. It can only build confidence that we was able to come through in a tough fought game. To win in overtime is always fun. It's enjoyable. On the flip side, if things don't go so well, it can lead to the season and issues. So it should really build our confidence and hopefully moving forward give us a little bit of a push in knowing that we can produce in challenging moments.
So Hannah Salas now, a sophomore. What does she bring to the field? Like, what is her game like, and how big of a part of it is for the team?
Hannah's quite versatile in the positions she can play. I believe she played a forward in club a lot, or wing, and she's playing left back right now. She showed in the game that she has an eye for goal. Her movement and patience waiting from the ball from Melissa was exceptional. She wasn't too eager. She waited. She knew where she wanted the ball to be played. Unfortunately, those two were on the same page. So she gives us something in the attacking half where she can come out the back. And typically, when you're coming out the back, it's hard for the other team to mark because they're not making up for players moving that distance. They're typically, midfield and forward is what they're waiting for. So it's hard to pick up players when they're making runs from so deep. So she gave us an attacking threat that in the end came through for us, which was great.
Besides Salas, which were some other players that made big impacts that game?
I think everyone had moments. You have Mel here who had moments in the game, and Camilla had moments. Allison had moments, and Nisa and Dina. I mean, everyone had moments in the game, but again, it still wasn't consistent enough. We need as a team to bring it together, and individuals need to bring it together and keep it consistent, for 90 minutes and not just patches.
All right, so last question for you, Jay. After game one, you said your team made some mistakes, and that was one of the big reasons for you guys losing. Do you feel that most of those mistakes have been fixed?
I feel like we corrected some. We're still making mistakes by giving the ball away a little too easy, being a little impatient in our possession. Even when we're building up comfortably, we sometimes make some rash decisions. But one thing we've done a little better was get some structure behind the ball once we made those mistakes.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Jay. Good luck on your next game the rest of the season.
Appreciate it.
And Mel, senior year.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time. Team gets the first win. It comes in overtime. What does that do for you guys? What was your reaction after that game, and how are you guys feeling this week?
I think that the overtime actually really brought us together because we kind of went down the hill, and I think scoring that goal really brought us up as a family because we all ran out, and the excitement from the goal, like everyone was smiling, and I really think that kind of connected the missing piece that we had. So I think that win is really going to help us move forward and be more successful.
So take us through this last play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Riley has a throw in.
Yep.
Deep in the corner. She plays it in, gets to Jory, gets it to Camilla.
Yeah.
Who then finds you, who checks off that center back. Take us through that moment.
I don't know. Me and Sal were just on the same connection. I don't know. She didn't even say anything. I just saw her, like the corner of my eye, and she was making the run, and we were just right on cue, and I played it through, and she was right there, and she put it home. That's one thing about Sal is she is really learning the outside back role very well. She's starting to see where she can make these runs. And luckily, my ball went right behind the outside back, and she put it right home. And it was a really good way to end because it was a goal that we earned. It wasn't a lucky goal. It was a beautifully played from the throw-in all the way in.
Right, and then earlier in the game, you had a chance at rocket off the post.
Yep. We had quite a few chances. That was the frustrating thing too. Is we really should have put a lot of opportunities home. I mean, I missed quite a few. Allison, Camila, we were hitting the post, the crossbar, over. We're just not. The one thing I think we're missing right now is just putting it home. We have to. That's the one piece I think we're missing is finishing the ball.
And you're now in your senior year, like we said. Anytime I'm around the team, people tend to gravitate toward you. How are you adapting to this senior leadership role? How are you handling those things, and what are you looking to do for the team going forward?
In the beginning of the season, I was a little low, but now I'm really trying to take the team under my wing in the aspect of I'm a senior, just like Neezer and Courtney, and the three of us really want to make sure the team knows that we have a set goal, and that is to go to playoffs this year, not because of last year, like a team lost. We want to go because we earned it, and we want to be one of the top seats. So off the field, on the field, me, Courtney, and Neezer are constantly on the team, whether it's, working together as a team, getting past all the drama. We want to be a family. We don't have to all like each other, but when we're on the field and that clock's ticking, it's the game and we want to win, and we're all working together to find that set, almost like goal, I guess, is to be successful.
And it's been a pleasure having you around. I hope you make the most of your senior year. We're really looking forward to what you guys are going to do.
Thank you, yeah.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Now we're going to shift over and we're about to talk some golf. We're going to have Blanca, Porta, and Jack Faraci on the show. But first, let's meet the women's golf team.
Blanca Porta, Zaragoza, Spain, Junior, Women's Golf. Crystal Sung, Durwood, Maryland, Junior, Women's Golf.
Jamie Hubbard, Hardyville, South Carolina, Sophomore, Women's Golf.
Vanessa Schloh, Würzburg, Germany, Senior, Women's Golf.
Molly Manassi, Bluffton, South Carolina, Freshman, Women's Golf.
Daniel Pesha, Rookie, Switzerland, Junior, Women's Golf.
And welcome back to Sandshark Bytes. Mike, we're now joined by some very special guests, Jack Faraci and Blanca Porta. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, start off with you, man, Jack. How does it feel finally be here? Season's about to start. What's that feel like for you?
It feels good. Last year I was able to get a taste of what everything was like around here, and now I just get to gear up and gear down for the tournaments ahead. So.
Last season, you guys were extremely successful, winning the Sun Conference title. Do you feel like that success will come into this season and drive you and give you guys some motivation to do well?
Oh yeah, we've been working hard all summer. We got 3 new guys, and we all have the same mentality to win. So us sharing that mentality, it's going to be nice to have that drive going forward.
One thing that I've always loved about your team is the team chemistry. All of you guys are buddies. You guys, when you're not at the course, you always hang out with each other. And I really think that's one of the reasons you guys are so successful. Do you feel that the team chemistry is just as high as ever this season?
Yeah, the new guys that we got on our team, they're really meshing well with the guys that are there still. So we all click, and we're all just same old buddies that we have been. So it's nice to be on and off friends. So it's good.
Perfect. Now let's talk about you a little bit. So you had a very successful summer, winning the South Carolina Open. Just talk about that. Talk about the tournament. How was your play, and just what that means to you?
Well, I was playing okay, but I was able to scrape it around a little bit. It was awesome to win it, though. It's a feeling that just kind of drives my summer and kept me motivated and showed that I can win big tournaments, and that there's more to come for me. So.
Perfect. So last question for you, man. What have you done this summer to ensure that this season is going to be very successful and for you to get the best play that you can?
I've been working hard on my game. I went to see a swing coach over the summer, and I've just been working hard on my game, hitting the range and playing a lot of golf. So.
Thanks, man. As always, I'm looking really forward to seeing you play this season.
Thank you.
And Blanca, kind of stepping into a leadership role now. Seniors are gone. We lost 3 last year to graduation. Now you're into your junior year. What are you looking forward to this season?
Well, we have 2 new girls, and we're a small team, and I'm looking forward to all the tournaments we have because they're very important. We're going to Oklahoma in 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm very looking forward to that and getting close to the team and creating that vibe that we used to have back when the seniors graduated.
You're right. It is going to be a long trip out to Oklahoma. That's the fall preview.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's the top 25 teams that are there. So,
yeah.
What do you think your team has done over the summer to prepare yourselves for that situation?
Well, all of us came back home, especially to Europe, and we all worked a lot on our swing and on our game on the course, especially spending hours on the range. The girls played a few tournaments back at home in summer, and I did too, and I think we all got ready to play good this season.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about the newcomers. We have Jamie Hubbard and Molly Manassi coming in. What do you think they're going to bring to you guys? Have you had a chance to get to know each other yet?
Well, we're really lucky. Vanessa, Dilly, and I live with Molly right now, and she's super nice, and we're getting closer. And then Jamie, I feel like we need to spend a little bit more time together, just the 6 of us, and I think we're going to get in that family vibe that we used to have when Francie, Emily, and Moa graduated.
Yeah, and you know, to replace those players is going to be something special. I mean, like you said, 6 players, usually 5 spots, so it's going to be kind of a battle all year for you guys. Starting out with the Kaiser Cup in a couple of weeks, you guys go down to West Palm Beach. And when are you guys hitting the range? Have you guys started practice yet? What's going on there?
Well, we didn't have official practice until today, actually, but we all been practicing and meeting up at Oldfield, our home course, every day just to have a chill practice, go on the course for a few holes. So I think we're all ready. We're very focused on the season, and we're so excited to go down to Kaiser Cup and see our friends from the Kaiser team and just meet up with everybody again.
Golf is one of those sports that all these players, they know each other. It's it's so fun when you see them because they see each other all the time, and you have 18 holes to talk and get to know each other. So very different as far as golf goes compared to the other sports that we do have. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to the home event also
at Oldfield.
At Oldfield this year in October. So going to be happy to get out there and watch you guys play. So thanks for joining us, Blanca. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Mike, let's we have one thing left to do, Mike. I'm so excited. It's just can't even say it pronounced properly. It's the athlete of the week,
the
Mike.
The athlete of the week, and I think we have to go with the game winner, Hannah Salas, putting away that double overtime goal at Montreat College.
I think so. You know, her play has really evolved from last season. I really think she's turning into one of the leaders, maybe not leader, but go-to players, a player that is really relied on heavily on the team.
Yeah, and like Coach said, Hannah's one of those players that's going to continue to get better. I remember seeing her throughout her high school years playing and going to her club games, and just seeing her movement off the ball on that wing was something to say, okay, we can work with this. Doesn't have the greatest top-end speed, but she's got the knowledge. She knows what to do and where to be, and that's most of the game, is that mental aspect.
For sure. So now on our episode next week, some things that you can expect is we're going to have another recap with soccer. I'm sure Jay and a player will come up here again.
Of course.
And possibly maybe Bailey Wigness.
Yes, Bailey Wigness. You know, she's still settling in, moving into the area, taking over the softball duties, finding an apartment, you know, getting her stuff moved across from Boise. It's just it's a lot going on for her. So we'll be excited to get her on the show, find out what's going on with softball as they're getting ready to start their practices here soon.
Most definitely. But until then, if you need any information on USCB Athletics, please head over to uscbathletics.com. Mike Manning will do his best to give you the best, all the information you need. But until then, for Mike Manning and Carlo Perusa, keep those fins up, everybody.
Hey, I'm Tony Hawk, and you're watching the County Channel.
The county is one of the oldest forms of local government in the United States. Early settlers from England brought the tradition of county government to America. Today, more than 3,000 county governments provide services that affect almost every citizen's life. South Carolina's 46 counties are very representative of how county government has evolved nationally. The county unit in South Carolina was regarded as a local extension of state government. But a state constitutional reform movement in the early 1970s led to the South Carolina General Assembly passing the Local Government Law, also known as the Home Rule Act, in 1975. The Home Rule Act greatly expanded county authority and changed the nature of county organization and administration to what we know today. Beaufort County went from having a board of directors to a county council. Members of the 1975 council included Chairman Arthur Horn, Vice Chairman Grady Thames, Leroy Brown, Gary Fordham, William Grant, Harriet Kaiserling, David Jones, Bill McBride, and Booker Washington. As the new council sought to distinguish itself, council members desired an official symbol that would represent the jurisdiction's identity and unique character. Council appointed an ad hoc committee to undertake the task and carry out a contest for the best county seal design.
Harriet Kaiserling was a member of County Council, and it was her idea because we didn't have anything that could significantly identify our beautiful Beaufort County. We met then up at I think it was the Carolina Bank, and some years ago back there on West Street, and then we put them in piles, you know, like good, bad, maybe, until we finally got it down to the one that we now use.
County Council approved the Seal Committee's recommendation, which reflected the county's history, traditions, and natural beauty. The Seal's colors of blue and green represent the colors of the county's outdoor environment, with its many waterways, marshlands, and maritime forests. The 5 images within the seal depict some of the county's distinguishing features: ancient live oak trees, the seafood industry, rich natural resources and a rare marine ecology, low country architecture, and miles of rivers, creeks, and inlets.
I was really impressed. I thought it encompassed what we as a body were looking for. A seal, it would, when you looked at it and just thought about it a little bit, it really covers the aspects of Beaufort County. So he did a good job of bringing together the things that we hold so dear and what we really like about Beaufort County.
Councilman Bill McBride was in office when the contest was held and was present when the committee revealed the winning design.
I think council was ecstatic about it. We thought that the symbols on the seal represented aspects of life in Beaufort County. There is a slight change in the original draft that was presented to us, where you have the shrimp boat today. Initially that was a pleasure craft, a sailboat and yacht type boat, and it was changed by county council because we felt that the shrimp boat was a better representation of a more comprehensive aspect of Beaufort County life, because you had other things on the seal that represent the pleasure and recreation, the fishing and the beach. So they thought the shrimp boat, which was a very important part of Beaufort County culture, shrimping, especially at that time, would be reflected on the seal.
The winner of the contest was an artist from Hilton Head Island, the late Lee Payne, whose design was selected from more than 126 entries submitted from as far away as Indiana and Tennessee. He was awarded $250 for his design, but more importantly, he captured the legacy of outdoor beauty, culture, and history that helped to define important aspects of life in Beaufort County.
To see more Beaufort County moments, go to the Beaufort County Library homepage and click on the Local History tab.
Here's what's happening in Beaufort County.
The Beaufort County Office Recycling Program came about in 2010 through an energy grant that the county got to save energy, and it allowed us to purchase a vehicle and establish a position for somebody to go around and pick up all the office recycling.
I think if you look at the tonnage numbers, when we first started the program, we have grown from, basically 0 to 200 tons a year, which is huge. That translates to about $10,000 in recycling and saved disposal fees. But it's not just that, is that, recycling is not just about saving money, it's about sustainability, and it's also about the jobs that it creates. It's an economic value in our state. We have approximately 100 stops, and that's huge. And one of the other things that we've just recently added, the fire departments and the EMS substations. So we started in the administration building, and now we've branched out.
It's important for our employees to recognize why is it that you sort the right things. We've only got one person doing this in the county, going around and picking up this material. It comes back here. If it's not sorted, or if we put the wrong items in a container, it takes more time, more labor, and even can contaminate items to the point that they would have to be thrown away versus being recycled.
We need as much help as possible as far as separating the recycling. Plastic goes with plastic by itself, cans by itself. Mixed paper can all blend in together, but your shreds, it kind of needs to be contained in a bag. Your newspaper should be separated from the mixed paper.
All recycling programs, whether it's on your curb or at the office, you do not put any kind of food contamination in there. We ask people when they put their bottles or cans in there to empty the material. They don't have to scrub it. And everybody wants to recycle styrofoam. And unfortunately, it is not recyclable in our system right now. So that material has to go into the trash can. We also ask employees to flatten any cardboard and store it out of the way so nobody trips over it. And then if somebody has a large load, to give us a call at the office, and we will have a special pickup to manage that material. We do not take any kind of glass in our system, and that is a safety issue. We need to recycle glass at home. If you have a curbside system or you use a convenience center, please bring your glass through those systems. When an employee at their desk has a piece of paper that they know, if they can't, we do suggest that you try to use the other side so it's used twice. And then once they've used up the paper, they can place it into the recycling bin. And then they will take it to the central location, which might be out in the hall or in another area of their, if they're in a big office with lots of other employees, they'll put their paper and recyclables in the bin, in the central bins.
From here, I collect all the paper, mixed paper, shreds, the cans, the bottles, and everything that's recyclable. We then take it to the recycling center where it's separated. We have a baler machine that actually compacts the mixed paper together with the shreds. When that product is finished, it's shrink wrapped.
The county is able to take those items, particularly paper and cardboard, and sell those, and that revenue comes back into the general fund. So everything that our employees do to contribute to this program generates revenue, helps lower our costs, but more importantly, we're setting the example for our citizens. We're trying to teach the citizens the right things to do, make our community more sustainable, and recycling and reducing what we put in the landfills is one of the best ways we as employees of the county can lead the way for our citizens and be an example to them on how to recycle.
And that's what's happening in Beaufort County.
Hi, I'm Tony Mills. I'm a naturalist and educator here in the Lowcountry. You know, Beaufort County is an amazing place to live. Not only is it beautiful here, but we have an amazing diversity of living things. In this series, we're not going to travel to other parts of the world, like Africa or Asia, to see neat things. We're going to look at habitats right here in Beaufort County, and we're going to look at some of the animals and plants that make this area so special. Join me for Coastal Kingdom on the County Channel.